It's time to stitch the farm girl on the Prim quilt. The farm girl is on page 32. I have my fabric that has been backed with fusible interfacing, and I have my batting. As a reminder, I am adding batting and background quilting, which is different than the directions. Let's stitch the farm girl. I've opened my USB and I'm going to go to my combined files folder, and I need to choose block 8, which is the farm girl. I will hit set and embroidery, and I will go to layout and move and bump this all the way to the top. Select OK, and I move that all the way to the top because I do still have my stabilizer attached to the roll, and that just helps save what I can. And I do like to stitch on the minus plus needle screen. I will first stitch the placement line for the batting. I'll place my batting and tack it down, and I will need to manually stop my machine after the batting is tacked down. I will then place my fabric, tack my fabric down, and run the background quilting. As always, I really love the background quilting. Now the next two steps are going to be for the placement for the applique fabrics, and again I am going to place and tack both of the fabrics down before I remove my hoop to trim them. Now for this dress applique, I am using a piece of fabric that will be used for 2 appliques or 2 blocks, and so I've cut just one large piece. And if this was not directional fabric, I could have actually saved quite a bit of fabric by putting my fabric this way and then saved a lot of fabric for something else. But because I have a directional fabric, I do need to go ahead and place it this way. All right, so let's get this tacked down and then get these fabrics trimmed. Now the rest of the block is all applique, so let's get started on the stems. I am loving this block. Now I did make a change on the thread color for the dress to match my fabric. So in the directions it calls for thread 10, which was lighter. I went ahead and used thread 9, which for me is Tidewater. Tidewater is one of my favorite colors of thread ever. Now I'm also going to do a couple more thread changes. Now it's getting ready to stitch the flowers and her hair with the Dijon, you know, gold yellow color. And I am not going to stitch the gold hair. I am going to make it brown so it fits me better. And so I'm going to use the lighter of the two browns, and then that will make the hat not stand out as much. The hat is the same color as the star, which is the ash color, which is another one of my favorite colors. And I'm going to use the leather brown, and I think those are just too close for, you know, the hat and the hair. So I'm going to think about, while I'm stitching out the next few steps, what color hat. I might choose the Dijon color for a hat so it looks maybe like a straw hat, or I might choose a pink color or another color. So I'm going to think about that. But what I'm going to do in order to stitch out a different color with the hair, of course it's all one step, is when it's done with the last flower, I will just manually stop my machine after it cuts that third flower, and it will move over to where the hair is, but it will not start stitching out. So that's what I'm going to do, and then I'll change my thread and finish stitching the hair. All right, let's keep going. It's time for the hat, and I've decided to go ahead and use the yellow color that I used for the flowers. I just feel that that would look like a straw hat and balance the yellow out, since they, you know, had put yellow over here that I changed. But the hat and the outline of the sheep are supposed to be the same, so of course I have my little plus sign right here, which means it's starting with the hat. Once that tacks off and cuts, I will manually stop my machine and then change to the correct thread, and it will finish the outline of the sheep. All right, we're almost done. I'm done stitching, but the last step is the crosshairs, and that is again stitched in the center to help line your ruler up when you're trimming the blocks to size. If you are going to stitch this, just make sure that it is a thread color that you can see. I'm done, so I'm just going to hit home and cancel. Let's go look at this block. So I'm done with the block. I love it. I have not taken out the tack down of the fabric. I will take that out when I'm ready to stitch my top together, and then I will remove the stabilizer and batting all the way back to the tack down of the batting, so that when I sew my blocks together that there won't be any batting or stabilizer in the seam allowance. So let's look at this block. It is so cute. I love the texture. Look at the texture of the center of the flowers. And our cute, we have two stars. We have this star and this star up here. Now I do wish that instead of, if I were to do this again, instead of doing the same color as the sheep outline, which is the ash color, which I love, I think I would have rather had that, the very dark brown, the brunette color. I think it would stand out better, but it's still cute. I am super glad that I did the brown hair and the yellow for the hat. I love the color for the dress that I picked. It's a little bit darker than what the pattern called for. It is just so cute. The little sheep's ear is kind of a sketchy design and then gets a little bit more solid in the center to give texture. One of my most favorite things is the texture in the dress. This little plaid of her sleeve and the dress is just, I just love it. I just can't get over all the great details in this embroidery. Now there is only one thing that I wish there would be included or would have been stitched on this, would have been a cute little nose. Her face is pretty flat, and it would have been fun just to have a little, you know, a little bump out for a nose. But other than that, I love this block. I think it turned out great, and I can't wait to continue stitching this project. All right, let's go on to the next block.